And we are live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gathering ParaCast. We're here for
Wow. Our very first show
video.
on Cryptovania.
Very exciting.
We are excited. Oh my gosh.
So,
Welcome to
welcome.
Cryptovania.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you,
Thank you.
Jason. Yeah, so this is Heidi.
I'm Heidi.
I see we don't know what to do because it's a whole new format. And I'm Stephanie. And we're coming for those of you who are new to us, we're coming to you from we used to have it was all audio on a radio show every week. So if we're a little crazy the first couple of times, well, there you go.
We've, just so you know, if you're new to this, we have been doing this
Yeah, for a
weirdly enough for
decade.
10 years,
I know.
except it's been all on audio.
Yes.
So, this is
And we
different.
and now we have to look into a camera.
We have to look into a camera. We can't be eating and drinking,
No.
and wearing our
No.
pajamas
No,
or
no.
whatever.
I know. So it's all different. So if we're a little giddy and a little crazy, well, just bear with us.
Yeah. We'll get
because
there.
it'll be super fun. So it's been a while since we've been live on the air. I mean, we were a couple weeks ago with
Did a little test
Yep,
run.
we did
Mhm.
with the Cryptovania boys. But it's been over a month, right? It's
Yeah.
been about 6 weeks maybe since the last time
Our
we had a
last show was October 23rd
Yeah,
of this year. So
Right.
that was our Halloween show.
Yep.
And we've really been off the air
we have.
for the most part since then. So yeah, it's been at least 6 weeks,
Mhm.
which is weird because in our 10-year run,
We've never
we
missed
didn't
more than one.
we didn't miss shows. I mean, it
No,
was, if we
no.
did, it was because something was really going on.
Absolutely.
So we are looking forward to the next evolution of our show, and our goal is to really be present again.
Yep.
And to be here every week
Every week.
like we have been before, except it's going to be different now that we'll be doing video, so we have a little
Yeah.
bit more flexibility
We do.
and reach. So we're very excited about that.
We are excited.
It's just we have to remember to look.
We do have to remember to look, so we can't just focus on our. When you're on radio, it's all about the computers. But Jerry's watching, of course. Thank you. He's our number one fan.
Yep. Jerry and
So
Joe is in the
He's
chat
with us, and Joe. And
Thank you.
one of the things we're looking forward to with this format is that we can go live on location
Yeah.
too. So we're going to try to always be here in the studio, unless we are somewhere cool, like doing a paranormal investigation or.
This is cool.
Yeah, this
This
is
place is
cool.
cool.
Oh, absolutely,
Just
without
kidding.
question.
No, if we're going to be doing something on location, though, I think that'll be really fun because we
Yep.
didn't have that
No.
flexibility.
We didn't.
With radio, it was really hard
it was
because
it didn't.
you have to
didn't
keep
transpose.
talking all the time, which is fine, but it doesn't translate
No.
when you're doing like an investigation
Mhm.
or you're doing a seance or whatever it is.
Yep.
I mean, there's some things that we want to do that just don't translate
Yeah.
to radio. So
Yep.
anyway,
So our first couple of shows may be a little rough, but we have a
Bear with
most
us.
fabulous producer,
we do. We're so
Jason Trost, and
happy.
he is taking very good care of us. And these will even though these are video, Jason will transpose them into audio as well. So they'll still be on our Podbean account as podcasts, and I believe they're going on the Cryptovania. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the name. Spotify too. Yes. So it'll be pushed out there in many different formats, and audio, video, it'll all be there. And we're not live on YouTube tonight, but we're hoping that we will be soon. But all of these videos will be on our YouTube, and they'll be on Cryptovania's YouTube too. So
yeah, so you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Actually,
Please
it's already
do.
up and ready to go. So if you go
Yeah.
to YouTube, it's the Gathering Paracast,
Mhm.
and go ahead and subscribe. I think Steph and I subscribed tonight.
We
were like
did.
the 8th and 9th.
We were.
subscribers.
We were. So
so
we weren't the
that's how new
first.
it is. We're very, very new.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we're excited to do this. And if you're new again to our show, this is the Gathering. We're sitting at a table, which is
Yep.
cool because you guys couldn't see this before.
Nope.
There was no video. So
No.
we gather around the metaphysical table. That was always
Mhm.
the idea behind our show in the past, is that we would sit around a table, whether it was in person or virtual. We're coming together to talk about all things paranormal,
Yep.
anything metaphysical, paranormal, spiritual. It could even be earth element related, because all things are interconnected.
Yes.
And so, we want to gather with you around this metaphysical table.
Yes. And so it's going to be fun. And we just got confirmation that our first guest in this new format is going to be our favorite Wendy Webb. And she was our last guest on the radio version.
We thought it would be a good transition.
Yeah.
She's our last guest on the old format, first guest in the new format.
Yep.
And she's loads of fun.
So I gave her the 2 dates. So she'll, I think, either be on next week or the week after. And we will hopefully let you know by the end of the show. She'll get back to us, but she's excited. So she'll be gathered around with us, and somehow we're going to have to figure out the camera so we can see all three of us. But I'm sure we can figure it out.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
So
here what are we doing? We're doing tonight the Paranormal Smorgasbord.
Yep.
And so I want to explain this to people who might be joining us for the first time as well. So the Paranormal Smorgasbord came about quite a few years ago.
A long time ago.
And what it is the first Wednesday of every month, we get together and we talk about just any paranormal subject. There isn't a theme to the show because it's all these topics together. So anything that Stephanie and I find throughout the week or the month or whatever, we dump it into the show. And the really cool thing about the Smorgasbord is that you guys that are watching us also can contribute. So you go to the chat and give us a topic that you want us to maybe talk about. If there's a story that you want to share from something that was from your own experience, drop it in the chat and we'll share it on the show. And we've gotten some pretty cool topics.
Really cool topics
from you guys. Yeah. During the Paranormal Smorgasbord, that is such a good topic. We can't even do it in the Smorgasbord because it needs its own show. So dump your topic ideas into the show as well. Get them into our chat room so we can check them out, and we'll see what you guys come up with. But we've gotten some really fun stuff for you guys. So so thank you.
Absolutely. So wow. So our first Paranormal Smorgasbord. What we always typically like to do too is pull a card at the very first part of the show.
Yes.
Are these Oracle cards or tarot cards?
No, this time it's Oracle. Okay. And it's a newer deck. So this is something we started in the recent past. It's not, but we want to continue it into this new format because you guys can see us. So you can see the cards too, which is very cool.
Yeah.
So I have a deck that I got in October when I was traveling, and I have 2 other decks from the same author, and I'll show you guys the deck here. It's the Wild Unknown Alchemy. I have the Wild Unknown, the Oracle deck, and the tarot cards already. So here is there's the
Alchemy,
the Oracle deck. It's cool, and
it's very cool. Look at that. They're like 6-sided. So what is that? What is the
hexagon?
Hexagon.
So it comes. It's this really cool.
It's very cool.
Like really, the cards are. Anyway, if it's not a hexagon, my bad. I'm sorry.
It's very cool.
Math.
It's very cool.
So anyway, but I thought these cards are really cool, and it's about transformation, alchemy, and transformation, right? And so we're in this transformation of our show. So I thought this would be a good deck to use tonight. So we'll pick a card for everybody, and you can do whatever you want with this. You can, take it to heart and look at it as it might be evolving over the next week, or where it's maybe already come into play this week. Do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to shuffle. I can't do my traditional shuffle because these cards are really
they're bizarre.
They would fly everywhere. So Steph, I'll just have you tell me when to stop, and then we'll pick the top card.
Okay.
All
right. I think right now.
Okay. So top card is, let's see here. I can't even see what it says.
I know.
So this
on goes the spectacles.
Oh my, the despicable face. Oh, it has all these eyeballs all over.
Oh, that is pretty wild.
Okay.
Can you see that? Should I fuck it up to the
mic? Sure, go ahead, because I'm going to look it up. What number is it? I'll read you what it says here.
XLB111.
All right.
This is pretty cool, I gotta say. Despicable face. That's interesting.
The despicable face.
The despicable face.
Okay, so this is what this card is about. The despicable face is never seen. Rather, it is kept in hiding to save outward appearances. This card appears when something below the surface wants to be witnessed in order to be transformed. Everyone has their own version of the despicable face and their own reasons for assuming it is an abomination. It could be buried resentment, an insecurity, or a physical characteristic that holds us back from expressing our true self. Remarkably, once revealed, it is not despicable at all. It is human. It is interesting. What once was thought of as an error becomes an asset on our journey of alchemical transformation. Try and say that 4 times fast. This card connects us to others and to humanity as a whole. Through acceptance, we lift the veil of perfection and reclaim our energy. Honesty and acceptance are the balm that heals the most tender of wounds. So it sounds like it's talking about our shadow stuff. So that's pretty interesting. And actually, here's a go deeper. They recommend watching the movie Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, okay.
Right? That kind of fits, I guess. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And then something to ponder. It says acceptance and enlightenment. Oh, this is cool. I haven't worked with this deck very often.
Look, there's stuff on the side too.
There is stuff on the side. This card may indicate the fear of failure. Some are so afraid to make a mess that they never cook up anything in the laboratory.
Oh, well, that's
right. The mess is alchemy underway. And then there's something else on this side. When this card appears, it's important to notice what company surrounds you. Those who can see and accept all sides of you are true alchemical allies. Well,
how about that?
That's lovely.
It is.
It's kind of a creepy card, though, really.
It is.
You know, I mean, it's these eyeballs are pasted all around the outside of the card. So it's kind of different. But strange. I'm cool with creepy. So
yeah, I know. No.
Yeah, that's good.
Wait, yeah.
Okay, creepy. There's your card. There's your card. The despicable face.
The despicable face. Something bubbling to come to the surface.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that resonates with some of you out there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look in the chat room to make sure that we're not missing anything. We've got so many people in here. We've got Brent,
super fun.
Amy, Jason. Hello.
Brent Thomas, nice to meet you too.
Yes, thank you.
Paranormal discussion. So
Emma.
Yeah, all eyes on you. There we go.
That's Emma said that. Thank you, Emma, for that extra stress.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So and if you have any questions, like we said at the beginning, questions, comments, subjects, put them in the chat here, put them in the comments, and we will, discuss because that's super fun.
It is.
So I think for us, the first thing, since we're doing the metaphysical stuff, so Mercury's in retrograde.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yes.
You
haven't noticed?
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's great. That's great because I think I got smashed in the face last time.
It was a bad one last time.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like this one's not too good either. I feel like my anxiety has been off the charts.
Oh, well,
so I don't know. Of course, there's been a lot going on in my world, so that could be
when does it go through,
part of it. I think the 15th of December. So we're already over a week into it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's coming up. Okay.
So the worst of it is, like this week, next week, and then it kind of slides down a little bit.
Well, 15th. I mean, that's
so that's
10 days away.
Oh, that's right.
We've been
we've been through quite a bit of it. So maybe it'll calm down now. Fingers crossed.
I'm thrilled because I didn't even realize. I mean, I know it's typically around the end of the year because you usually get 3 to 4 a year.
Yep.
Depending on how they land.
Yep.
So I'm thrilled that I totally didn't know.
Yeah, I know. See, I don't like to know that either, but where did I see it? Somewhere. And I'm like, I don't like to know this, but then it makes all sense, right? Oh, this is why. So for those of you who don't know what Mercury retrograde is, Mercury appears to be going backwards, and the energy affects all kinds of things here on Earth. Basically communication. It can make us anxious. It can make things happen. It affects different signs differently each time. And I'm not sure which signs it's the worst this time, but
I have no idea because I didn't even know it was going on.
Because you didn't even know what was going on.
So that's great. But typically it really, runs communication sideways.
That's right.
And technology seems to kind of take a hit too. So one of the things that you're guided to do, most of us are guided to do during retrograde, is to just make sure that you're double checking everything.
Yes.
All communications, especially like emails and texts and whatever. You sent me Facebook Messenger tonight and it didn't even come through.
And it didn't go. Yes, right? You're right. Yeah.
And so she had to send it to me a different way because it just wasn't coming through. Yeah. So you think you sent something to someone, they don't get it. They start, getting upset because it never got sent. You're like, I sent it. So a lot of miscommunications. Yep. So that, it's a good idea to follow up. Hey, I sent you something, if you sent an email, text. Yep. I sent this to you. Did you get it? It's also, a good idea to not do any really big movements and no decisions, big decisions. Purchases. Yeah. Legal stuff. If you can avoid it, some things you can't. Yeah. Sometimes you can't, but if you can, put it off until after, that is ideal, or wrap it up before. Yep. So that would be ideal. But some people really thrive in a Mercury retrograde. Yep. Some people, it's just their jam, and they should, do all their stuff during a Mercury because they're, I know, cram it into the 3 weeks that you have. I know. And for me, now I'm a Cancer. My sign is Cancer, and it kind of affects me a lot every time it happens. So, although sometimes I haven't even known, like you this time. Yeah, there have been times you didn't know. Right. And I was just like, oh, it's right. So if she's on the other end, she's a Capricorn. So we are kind of opposite ends of the astrology guide, in the video format, you'll be able to see that much more than that's right. Audio. That's right. Oh my gosh. So we're balanced. We're yin yang. We are. Right? We are. Absolutely. But it does. So if you're feeling anxious about things, or if you're just arguing a lot, you're having a lot of, arguments with people, it might be Mercury retrograde. It's amazing because a lot of times when I'll be with the family and it's Mercury retrograde, and I'll say, oh, I'll be so happy when this retrograde is over. And then one of my nieces will say, oh, is that what the problem is? So it's universally recognized, but it's probably good not to know when it's happening, Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends. If you really get hammered by them, sometimes you want to be prepared so you can wrap things up before. That's true. Not plan to, make big purchases during, that kind of stuff. They say you're not supposed to travel either, but I don't know. I've traveled. I don't know how some people could avoid that. You can't. You can't travel for work or something. Yeah. Anyway. No, I don't think you can either. No. So, but yeah, so that's happening. Next week is the full moon next week, I think on the 15th. So Mercury retrograde ends and then the full moons happen. So, lots of crazy energy out there. We were talking tonight about the beautiful waxing crescent that's happening right now. Oh my gosh, I was driving in and it's this cloudy haze that's it's just pretty. Barely covering this waxing crescent. So beautiful in the sky, and then Venus is like right there. Yeah. So it's this beautiful moon, and it looks like a star, but really a planet, right? Combination with this hazy, cloudy sky. It was just awesome. Yeah. So if you can get out and have a look. Go have a look because it's really pretty. Depending on where you are. I have no idea where you guys are all coming from, but we're here in Minnesota. You can probably tell by our accents. Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't you know? So anyway, so that's what we're seeing here. So maybe you have a different view from where you are, but but it was pretty beautiful. Yeah. And it's been kind of cloudy on and off all day today. So it is very mystical. I thought that too, as I'm driving over, I'm like, wow, look at that moon and, cool. Venus. So yep, that was cool. Always a fun thing to have a look at. Let's see here. Annie in the chat room said Friday the 13th next week. It is. Oh, that's right. It is. We have our meetup on Friday the 13th here. Oh my. Our paranormal meetup next week on the 13th. So that's exciting. Yeah. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, Friday the 13th and the full moon's 2 days later. And we should be out of Mercury retrograde then though. So that's good. That's a good thing. Yeah, we don't need to have all that hit at once. No. And right before the holidays. Well, and pretty soon is Yule, right? So winter solstice is happening in a couple of weeks. Think about this. So in a few weeks, our days start getting longer. Yep. We're still in the cave though. We are. I mean, we're still going to be in this cave of winter and going within, but and it's that dark at 4:30. Yeah. I mean, I went for a walk last night at 5:00 in the woods, and it was dark. It was very dark. Yes, it gets pretty dark now. It does. But that's what we're in, and it's a good thing to have this because it gives us time for inner contemplation, to do inner work, get some needed rest, hopefully, if you're not too busy this month. But anyway, catch up on yourself really is what this time is all about. So Yule happens.
Just all kinds of cool stuff happening right now. So,
yes. Yeah. I'm just checking the chats in the chat room here. We've got all sorts of chatting happening, which is awesome.
I know.
Aaron is saying Mercury retrograde is kicking my butt.
See? Yeah, that's
sorry to hear you
what I was
say
thinking
that.
too. Same here. I've never had anxiety like I've had this year, and it's just because there've been a lot of things going on in my life. But the last week or so, off the charts. So
I'm so glad I didn't know. That just makes me feel so good.
I know. It's awesome. I'm so glad you didn't know either. But yeah.
Emma is saying that she's a Libra, so the yin and the yang is in herself. That's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Go you. I love that. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay, we've got some things to talk about.
We do.
We've bringing some paranormal topics to the table here.
Well, exactly. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with Mothman. It is something that we talk about a lot here on the gathering. And I know Cryptovania folks talk a lot about Mothman too. And, we've noticed in the last few years is that there's been a lot of Mothman sightings around Chicago. And there's like there's almost like a triangle. We've talked about triangles on this show before. And this
I named
also, you did.
This was 3 years ago now.
Yep.
I named and I put a quadrant out there for the Illinois, the triangle.
Yeah, right.
The Illinois triangle for the Mothman sightings.
So we wonder, we always wonder this is, they say when Mothman appears, a tragedy will happen. But this has been going on now for quite a few years. And I don't think anything has happened necessarily in Chicago, but maybe it's coming because there have been two sightings of Mothman right around Chicago there was one in October and then there was one here in March. I don't think I can read these if we want, but basically it's kind of the same thing. They're talking about winged creatures, figure with large grayish black wings, muscular gray legs, and looked like a frog leaping off a rooftop, sprung through the air, landed 4 blocks southwest. Okay, so that's quite a distance. And this was in Evergreen Park, Illinois. So a suburb of Chicago. This one happened in March.
Who saw it? Did they say who saw that one?
It just says Illinois woman.
Okay.
Reports sighting of humanoid creature with large grayish black wings while waiting in the Culver's drive-through. So it was at Culver's.
Oh, so we're not talking about the woods.
No, we're talking about urban landscape.
Can you imagine? You're also kind of stuck. You're in a drive-through. You can't go anywhere.
Crazy thing going on.
You can't get anywhere because you're stuck in a drive-through. Because usually drive-throughs, there's nowhere to go. So you're just
you are stuck.
You're held hostage.
I know.
And here's Mothman.
Okay, so this other one here just happened in October. And it was received
in Chicago area. See?
Actually, I'm sorry, it was the 4th of July. And it was a quiet night. Weather was nice. About 8:30, he looked out his bedroom window. Something caught his attention at the Park Tower condominium building about a block away. 2 bright laser-like red eyes were projecting from the roof. As he looked closer, he saw backlit by the rooftop lights a humanoid figure. The lights appeared to be its eyes. He's watched the creature as it unfurled its wings and took off towards Lake Michigan. Okay, that's pretty cool.
I gotta get to Chicago.
I
want to see Mothman. I
know you do. Now, Mothman is scary to me, so that is not one that I would pursue.
He doesn't do anything to anybody. I mean, so there have been some reports where he's attacked cars, people in cars, things like that.
Yes.
But I think they were just maybe in the way, or he was trying to get him to turn around, go a different direction. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't recall any people being physically attacked or killed or hurt by a Mothman. Are you?
Well, yeah. Up there in Point Pleasant, is it Point Pleasant that's on the Ohio River where the Silver Bridge went down?
Yeah.
So back in the early 2000s, there was a paranormal group that went up there to look for Mothman and see what they could find. And these people, ever since they were there, they heard the voice, right? And I can't remember exactly what it said. It's been a while since I've read this and seen this, but it was like a warning. And ever since they were there, these people have had nothing but bad luck. I mean, like they've lost houses, they've lost their marriage. Well, no, but I mean, it's like the harbinger of bad things, right? Kind of, sort of. I don't
know. I think, I mean, until we have proof, what if he's just saying, hey, watch out?
Yeah, it could be.
Stay out of the way because something bad's coming.
It could be.
We don't want you to get hurt.
We could be. But with all these Mothman sightings in the Chicago area, don't you wonder if it's true that he's telling people that there's, they say he was right here in Minneapolis when the bridge went down in 2002.
Yeah, I heard that.
So I don't. It's interesting for sure.
Well, if it's one or the other, neither one of those things have happened. He hasn't brought a tragedy unless it's two individuals.
Right.
And he hasn't warned of a tragedy because nothing has happened, thankfully.
Yes.
So I don't know. Maybe it was just he tries to help when he can.
Yep.
Or maybe he
has nothing to do with it and they're everywhere and people just see him right before tragedies and think, I mean, the Mothman Prophecies is a movie, but
well, yeah, but it was based on
a true fact.
So what if Mothman he's like a weird version of Santa Claus, like the naughty and nice list. If you've been naughty, maybe Mothman comes and deals something out to you.
It could be.
I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm making stuff up here because I don't know. Because but the whole if you look at the idea of he's or it is a bringer of tragedy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not happening.
No.
In Chicago. And if he's
that's true. Because it's been years since we've been following this. Yep.
Yeah, and there's nothing happening. So maybe he's on the lower, scale of things, like, onesie twosies with people. Like, hey, you're okay. I want to warn you that this is coming so you don't get hurt. And you might have to fall off the cliff. Like, I don't know. I don't think that's right, but I'm not Mothman. I don't make this stuff up.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it's it's
I don't
cool,
know.
Right?
I keep saying I want to see Mothman, and I'd probably tip over if I saw Mothman in person.
Well,
I hope I have the wherewithal to use my camera because everybody that sees, but you get stunned into
of course
forgetting.
It's like Bigfoot, right? Does anybody have a good picture of Bigfoot? That's a real picture of Bigfoot? Hey, you had a story about Bigfoot.
Oh, I do. I have a story for tonight.
But
that I found.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to imagine, but I think because I've been like a Bigfoot researcher for a lot of years, and I wonder when we see him, and we will, we've been pretty close. We know they're around. We just haven't looked them in the eyeballs. Will we have the sense to actually take a picture or not? I don't know. Know.
That's the thing is that
because I think you're so busy looking that you don't want to try to get the camera out to take the picture because then they could be gone. And Jerry, who's in the chat room, saw a Bigfoot and he had the camera there, but he didn't want to take his eyes off Bigfoot to take a picture. And then he looked back to grab it. And then of course the creature was gone.
Right.
So I don't know.
It's almost like you need to be wearing like a GoPro on your forehead.
Right.
All the time.
All the time. Yeah. A body cam. Yeah. I mean, crazy talk.
Well, because if it's big enough, if it's a big deal, something that's once in a lifetime, I can imagine you'd be stunned into forgetting everything.
Yeah.
And just,
for sure.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to take a photo.
Yeah.
Because it's just so surreal.
And the thing is, even if you get a photo, people are going to say that's not real.
Yeah.
And especially now with AI generated things, it's not real.
True.
So really it would be just for you. And we know that as researchers.
Which is fine.
We know, but we know what we saw.
Right.
And that we're out there for us,
Yeah, that's true.
So good segue into Bigfoot. So what is your story on Bigfoot?
So I found this article. It was like a couple weeks ago because this was posted on November 12th, so about a month ago. And it was a Bigfoot sighting. Now, it has not been proved, so it could be fake. It could be real. I don't know. So it's the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization, the RMSO, posted a video out of Connorsville, Indiana, that shows Bigfoot captured on a trail cam. And let's see here. So I have no idea what kind of audio this has, but they show this figure. So if you go to YouTube,
can we copy that and put it in the chat?
I'll see if I can figure out how to do that.
I don't know if we can or not, but we should be able to comment, right? Maybe not.
I don't see where I can comment. Everybody else can comment but me.
Well, you can maybe comment to Jason and then he can put it in there.
Oh, okay. Maybe he knows how to do it.
Well, you see, this is all new to us. Sorry.
Sorry about that. Okay. So there's YouTube video that shows this Bigfoot going past this trail cam. Now, is it legit or not? I don't know, because someone could know, hey, there's a trail cam there. I'm going to dress up in this outfit and go scooting across the trail cam. But it looks interesting. I watched it. I thought it was compelling enough to talk about it. And
where is it? In Indiana somewhere?
Yeah, it's in Connorsville, Indiana.
Okay. Is that near a city or is that like in the country, in the woods?
I'm gonna look it up
somewhere?
right now.
Because one of the other things that just Matt Moneymaker, who's the head of the BFRO, just put out there on Facebook the other day about these Bigfoots that are wandering around Omaha and what's called the Greenbelt. It's like an area that is the river, the Missouri River is basically what it is. And of course, Bigfoots follow the rivers, follow the deer who follow the rivers. And so they've been seen in the gardens there. There's like a public gardens, and just like is in November. So
it looks like it's about an hour southeast of Indianapolis.
Okay.
So I don't know
in the
that
country somewhere.
It's a little town.
Rural area, I guess.
Rural town, rural area. Yeah. So anyway, but it looked like it was pretty interesting. So hopefully you guys can check that out because it's a relatively new sighting, a new video, which is kind of cool because again, going back to this idea of, hey, I want to see a Bigfoot. I want to see a Sasquatch. I want to see Mothman, whatever. And then there's no proof. There's no video. There's no photo. There's no nothing. So, it's cool when you actually get something.
Yeah.
That you can look at, whether you believe it or not, as a whole. That's a whole. Other thing. But
well, and like we always talk, I always talk about that Bigfoot is super close to urban areas. I mean, one of our favorite research areas is not that far from here. It's, 25, 30 minutes from this metro area. And we're in downtown Minneapolis where we are right here. So it would probably be 30, 35, 40 minutes from here. But that's close. And
it's definitely within the Twin Cities area.
Exactly. And, they follow, it's thought that they follow the waterways, right? So I have found some really bizarre things in urban parks too, and suburban parks like the rings. I know we did an episode once on Cryptovania, the He Said, She Said show about these rings that I found in this regional park. And what are they? I don't know. Could they be man-made? Maybe, but they're up so high. And other Bigfoot researchers have found these wreaths too. I call them wreaths. They're circles. They're like vine circles way up in the trees. What are they? I don't know. But so this particular story that I was talking about, Matt Moneymaker is talking about these Omaha ones, and they are really close to these gardens that are called the Lauritzen Gardens. I don't know where it is, but there is a picture of where they are in Omaha, and it's virtually right there. So people, you
showed that to me earlier, and it's definitely in an urban area.
Yes. You don't have to go very far to find him.
No.
And you'd be surprised how close he is to us. So, yeah. It's awesome, isn't it?
Again.
Yeah.
Hey, Bigfoot.
Hey,
hey,
big guy.
Come visit me.
Come visit.
And I'll try and remember and take a photo.
Yeah. Not saying we will for sure, but.
Because I say it, and then I'll be the first one to not do it.
I know.
I'm guessing.
Because
I'll be stunned.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is said that they have that power to make you just,
which I believe.
You're still and you can't move, really, kind of under a spell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's very interesting. It's all very interesting,
Oh my God. So here's one other thing because this Bigfoot thing came up I was watching a TV show that's not new. It's not old, but it's not new. And it was like Missing 411. And there's a couple of different versions. It's a documentary that, an hour and a half, there's 2 or 3 of them. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember which one I was watching because they were kind of playing in the background while I was doing some work down in my craft room. And, because I like listening to more big topics while I'm, being a crafty mouse, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. But one of the interesting things was these people that just disappear out of the woods. And they're with other people, or they're not far from other people, or whatever. Just disappear. And I know, because then they show a map of the United States saying it's in these concentrated areas, and 2 of the areas were Bigfoot areas. Yeah. Oh, for sure. That we've investigated. And so I thought it was interesting because you look at Bigfoot, and then I always kind of tie it in with UFOs, right? And UFO activity, alien activity. And so I thought, well, what if these people are being abducted? They disappear without a trace. And then some people are found in areas that have already been thoroughly searched. Mm-hmm. Their bodies are found, or parts. Mm-hmm. And or never found. Yeah. But it's interesting that with, how many people, and I'm looking at all these hotspots. I'm like, that looks like a lot of Bigfoot area activity. So, which then with alien and stuff, I thought, I don't know. I started looking at this and I thought they danced around the topic for a half a second during one of the documentaries. And then the guy kind of laughed. He goes, maybe they're abducted. Haha. He was being interviewed. Yeah. He wasn't the guy running but he was being interviewed. And he's like, well, I think he was just abducted. Haha. And he kind of joked it off. And then that was it. That was the only time he referenced it in the show. And I thought, I wonder if they're thinking about it or researching it, but they haven't gone there yet with the shows. Could be. Because anyway, so there's the Bigfoot thing with that. I thought it was cool. But
there's, up in Alaska too, there's a lot of people that just disappear, right? We've talked.
Well, there's a lot of Bigfoot up there.
There's a lot of Bigfoot up there. Activity up there. And then there's that crazy Alaskan Triangle too. Yeah. That we've talked about on our show before. So now we're video. We'll have to revisit that with our favorite guest.
We have a lot of favorite guests.
I know we do.
That's Mike.
And he was Mike. Yeah, Mike is fun. Yeah. Mike is fun. So, and he's going to talk to us about time travel at some time too. Yes. So we do have a lot of really cool subjects. What's going on in the chat room? Is anybody asking any questions or? Let
me look. Hang on. I got to wear my other glasses.
I know, me too.
I'll do that next time because I can't keep doing this. So Emma in the chat room said that she had a sighting near a river. Mm-hmm. And she's saying here she didn't know that they follow rivers. So
totally makes sense.
Yeah. And that's they typically, I mean, that's what a lot of researchers have found is that they follow rivers. So I think we've got
all kinds of good stuff
up here, but lots of comments anyway. So thanks everyone for joining us here.
This is fun for sure.
All right, you had something else, didn't you?
The Loch Ness. So we like to talk about the Loch Ness monster as well. Monster. And
I was so bummed when I went there and I couldn't find it.
Well, so here's the story about another mysterious object detected on sonar in Loch Ness. And this just happened on September 22nd. See, we haven't had one of these paranormal smorgasbords for 2 months. So we're a little slow here. But they have the sonar that's pretty big. I got to say, whatever it is. We could send this over to Jason, I guess. But what it's talking about, it says, apparently the skipper with Cruise Loch Ness told he was doing rounds out on the Loch Ness when he captured an unusual object on sonar. And it does have this picture of it, but it's registered at a depth of 98 meters, which is 322 feet deep, which is huge, right? Mm-hmm. It was described by him as the biggest thing I've ever seen. We've seen all sorts of fish that shouldn't be here, but this was different. Everybody had the chills.
Did they say about how big they thought it was?
No. Object was reportedly visible for 2 or 3 minutes, during which time they captured a screenshot of it on the sonar. And the team noted the object's elongated shape and noticeable features, such as a multicolored appearance, which could indicate air pockets and the presence of a living creature. And they wondered if the sonar return could be related to Nessie, of course, Loch Ness monster. The strangeness of it was chilling, which we always say, we feel like they're all other dimensional creatures. So like spirits, like Bigfoot, you do get the chills, when you're near them and their presence are near you. So, I mean, it totally makes sense to me.
I'm surprised they didn't say how big they thought it was maybe they did somewhere in the article, because usually, I mean, if you're going to say it looks big.
Yeah. Okay. Estimated the object to be between 3 and 4 meters, 10 and 13 feet in length, and at a depth of 25 feet. But they just said it was 335 deep.
Maybe it moved.
Maybe.
Because it's swimming.
Could be. Yeah. So anyway, very cool.
I mean, that's big enough.
4 times 3, that's 12. Like 13, 14 feet. But Nessie is supposed to be really big, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I would think. Anyway, I mean, that's a pretty cool picture.
But that's, I mean, a significant size for anything.
Yeah.
In there.
Absolutely.
Although I know like sturgeons can get that big. I don't know if they have sturgeons over there.
I don't know.
Or in that lake.
Yeah. No.
I'm sure other fish can get that big too, but I mean, whatever it is, that's a big fish.
Yep.
Or a big creature.
Yep. It's very interesting. Whatever.
4 meters. I wouldn't want to be swimming next to it.
No. Might be a little scary.
I have no interest in going in the water.
I know you don't like to. I just whatever.
At all.
Have you guys ever seen the Nessie from Kinzu, the video that we have on Cryptovania? Can I play that for you real quick?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, this was from a handheld from around the turn of the 21st century here, so it's a little shaky and a little grainy, but this is from the Strange Kinzu files, and this is awfully interesting looking. And here we go.
Let's look.
Where's the dam from here? I thought you could see the dam from something. It's something that's right on the surface. And it's moving.
That's awesome.
That and now it could be you mentioned sturgeon. That's been mentioned quite a few times with that. And there are some awfully big sturgeon out there.
Oh yeah. In Minnesota.
And maybe them doing like that, but that's sure. At one point it looks like you can see like a fin kind of curl up above the surface, and it's one of my absolute favorites.
That's cool.
That is good.
Yeah. And right there at the Kinzu Dam and the reservoir, there was a Boy Scout troop that was having a camp out there, and they had an encounter with a Nessie breaking the surface. And ever since then, whenever they go to the Boy Scout Jamboree, their Jamboree patch is some kind of representation of that.
Oh, that's cool.
Of Kinzu Nessie. So any chance I can to share that, I'm like
glad
to.
You did. I'm glad you did. That's very awesome. Cool. Yes.
Yeah, I would like to see a
lake
too.
Monster. I would too. And we have one right here in Lake Pepin.
Yeah.
Pepe.
Yeah.
There's one like
a lot of sightings.
They're kind of everywhere, right?
I think there's even more sightings in Lake Pepin than there are in Lake Superior.
I think so too. But I mean, Lake Superior is so deep and so huge. Yeah. Gosh, if there's going to be a tribe of creatures in there, that would be a good place to hide. You're never going to find them. I know.
No.
I know. So awesome. Well, is there any comments that we should address?
Sure. Amazing footage.
It's in Pennsylvania, Aaron. That's your correct.
Joe in the chat room said that Steph will swim with anything. That is true.
Yeah, it is true.
She will. And Yep.
I
don't understand.
No fear.
Nope.
Although I don't know, it might be kind of scary to swim at the big monster like that. But
I don't know. We talked. Who was it that we talked with about the mermaids?
Oh yeah, up north in Rainy Lake. Yeah, I would do it.
That they pull people down.
Yeah.
by the ankles when they're out swimming.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, let's go do it. I'm like, what is wrong with you? No, I would not get out of the boat.
Be an adventure. Just saying.
Last adventure. Your last adventure is what that would be. So no, I would stay in the boat or on the shore.
Or on the shore.
Although when we were talking with Katie Elizabeth, the researcher out in she was out on
Lake Champlain.
Yeah. And she would, when we were talking with her, it came out that we thought maybe the creature gets out of the water and goes to another body of water or to some other kind of hideout. And so I thought, well, now you're not safe on land either. So good luck. Good luck to all of you. If you see a lake monster, you might as well climb a tree. Maybe you'll be safe. I don't know.
All kinds of crazy stuff.
I'm gonna have to wear my regular glasses. I haven't thought about this. See, you guys didn't know this when we were doing audio. You wouldn't see me glasses on because I wear.
No, I know, and I
wear contacts.
And I can't see anything up close. So here we go.
Okay, so Erin in the chat room said she grew up not far from there, but never encountered Nessie. Never grew up not far from where? Could you elaborate?
Yeah.
And Emma says she's never been to Loch Ness. I've been to Loch Ness. It is awesome.
You didn't see him.
It is awesome. No, I didn't see him. It was so cool. I was at Urquhart Castle, which is a ruins, and that's right on Loch Ness. And I was, scooting around the different parts of the lake. I don't know if you can get around the whole thing just tourist style. It's huge though, but it's so cool. If you can get to Scotland, go to Scotland. Scotland's amazing.
I would like to go there.
Great Britain,
right?
Anywhere is pretty awesome. So, So okay, if we can't get an answer, let's see if I'm curious where she grew up. Oh,
around there,
around Kinzu. Okay, so
she knew,
grew up around that Kinzu, which is the video we just saw, and never saw it. Well, now you've seen at least a video in your old backyard.
Absolutely.
Maybe go back someday and see if you can find something.
Yeah, and we're hoping to have Katie Elizabeth on here too sometime in the next month or two.
She's down in Florida now, right?
She's in, I think she goes both places.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So I think she's got a home up there in
got it.
Lake Champlain and then one in Florida.
Good.
Yeah. So
cool. Yeah, she'll be on sometime too.
Absolutely. So
awesome.
Well, good first paranormal smorgasbord.
Thank you everybody for joining the chat. So many people in the chat room. This is fun.
This is really fun.
And just remember the first Wednesday of every month we're doing the paranormal smorgasbord. So you can drop your topics into the chat and maybe we'll talk about it. We might have to quick Google. We don't know.
And then you might
we might turn it into a whole show because it's a good topic and it needs more time. So
yes, for sure. Because we've had a lot of those.
And sometimes we just talk about our own adventures and things that we've been doing.
And we've been really busy and we will do that too. This fall has been crazy talk, and so this weekend, Cryptid Chicks are going on a retreat. So it'll be fun.
Where?
I think we'll get out in the woods.
Going up north?
We're we're staying at the lake house. Isn't that going to be fun? So we're all going to the lake, our family lake house. And then we will, it's just going to be a planning session, kind of a scouting session. Hopefully we'll get out in the woods too a little bit, but it'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. So
nice. That sounds good.
Never know what might come out of that one.
Good.
Yeah. So lots of stuff going on as always with us. So as we move on, you will hear more of that too.
Well, we're always sharing our adventures with you guys too. So
absolutely.
But anytime you want to hop into our Facebook page here or now our YouTube channel, you can go in and send us a message if there's a topic that you want to hear about for a show, not just Paranormal Smorgasbord, but if you're like, hey, would you guys ever talk about whatever it is?
Yeah.
Send us a message so we can do a show around it. We either know about it or we'll find someone that knows about it or do some research or whatever. If you know someone that would be a great guest for our show, let us know who they are so we can get a hold of them. We're excited to do this. And if there's a place that we can get to now, travel right now, because we're heading into winter, which I don't want to go anywhere far at this point, unless someone else is going to foot the bill. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. So no. But we want to start going places too. So we'll stick with Minnesota for now.
Yep.
But at some point, maybe get further out there.
Mhm.
But yeah, keep us posted if you want us to, check things out, go on an adventure,
Yep.
Whatever.
You never know. Maybe we'll come to Cryptovania sometime. Oh,
Mhm.
no, wouldn't that be wild?
Maybe
You guys would never be the same.
I think that
It would
goes
be
both
fun.
ways.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
I don't
Yeah,
think we'd
for
be the
sure.
same
I don't
either.
think so either. I think it would be a riot, but
Oh,
for sure. Anyway, well, I think that'll do it for us tonight. Do join us next week, same time, same place. We
Mhm.
thank you for watching, and if there are any, we know that the troops used to listen to us on the radio. I'm not sure if that's going to transfer to the video, but if you are, thank you very much for your service, and
yes.
please be safe.
Yep. And again, thanks everybody for tuning in wherever you are, and also to Cryptovania TV for hosting
Yes.
and producing.
Yes,
We're so grateful.
and for our most awesome producer.
Yes. So thanks everybody.
Yes.
Have a good week.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.